Aloha and welcome. Thank you for coming to my live stream. My name is Master Paul and I'm joining you live from Haleiwa, Hawaii. We are on the island of Oahu. And today I am going to be sharing with you about how you can use soul power to increase children's intelligence. But I wanted to make sure that the signal is good. I wanted to make sure you can hear me. So those who have tuned in, please let me know that you can hear me. So far, so good. We'll do the best we can. I don't know how the signal is going to be today, and the wind sometimes picks up. It might even knock over the camera. We'll find out how this session will go. So I want to welcome everybody for coming. As indicated, today we're going to be focusing on how to use soul power to bring intelligence to our children and our grandchildren. And the same actually applies to us. And we're going to be talking about the roots, what causes these kinds of blockages to occur. I'm putting a little extra weight on my camera base so it doesn't fly away. What causes the root cause of a lack of intelligence or a children's inability to receive information the way we might receive it. And some of the root causes might surprise you. And we're going to be using soul power in a couple different methods in which you can do it with the child in person or at the level of soul, both of which will have a tremendous impact on them and their health and well-being. But most importantly, on their intelligence, which is the purpose of today. So I'm going to go ahead and connect with all the holy beings. We're going to invite them in at this time. And then we're going to ask the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony to join us. And after a little while, we'll move forward, okay? So we place our hands in Soul Light, Soul Service hand position. It was very much like a prayer position, but we drop the left hand in front of the chest. This allows us to connect to heaven through our hand and then into our heart center. At home, close your eyes and I will connect to heaven. To all layers of the divine, all layers of the Tao, all layers of the Source. I love you, honor you, appreciate you, respect you, bow down to you. We ask you to please be present at this time. Assist in this connection today and allow me to teach in the highest and best way all of those souls that join us as to your wisdom on how to bring greater intelligence to our children, how to clear the Shen Qi Jing blockages that inhibit them from being successful in every aspect of life. We ask all layers of holy beings, all guides, angels, saints, healing angels, archangels, masters, ascended masters, lamas, sifus, gurus, buddhas, bodhisattvas. We ask all of them to please join us in whatever way is most appropriate. We are truly grateful for your presence. Dear the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony, transmitted to all souls in all universes. We love you, we honor you, appreciate you, respect you. We ask you to please be present at this time. Please assist us in whatever way is most appropriate today, including helping bringing intelligence to our children. At this time, invite the souls of your children and your grandchildren. So you can repeat like this. Dear the souls of my children, dear the souls of my grandchildren, I love you. Could you please come at this time? Receive the teachings and wisdoms that Master Paul is sharing. Receive it at the soul level. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then for those that are familiar, you can chant love, peace, harmony with me. For those that are not, just receive the blessings. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱人人类，望灵人耳目是相，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。 I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I hope you're enjoying the view today. Today is a family day off, and so we usually go to the other side of the island and try to do live stream when possible. So welcome Tawana, welcome Nicola, welcome Shari, and Nikki, welcome Chelsea, welcome Jota, and Angie, good to see you. Welcome Jessica, welcome Johannes, welcome Linda and Scott and Judas. Welcome Amy, and welcome Kayla, darling, and family. So as always, my request is that you please hit the share button. There might be a few people that this pops on their page and they have children or grandchildren and they're drawn to receive this wisdom and information today. And thank you so much for your presence. So as always, I ask Kevin, I prepare. Sometimes it's just at the soul level that I prepare for the information that is going to be shared. And over this weekend, I sat down to figure out how I can best serve you over the next 6 months. What would I share? What would I teach? What kind of blessings would I offer? And I received quite a bit of information. I lined out all the different wisdom and teachings that Dr. Master Shah has brought to us, and all the different ways in which he brings healing to us. And it's still, actually, there's more to it. That's just what I could remember and off the top of my head and looking through the books. And there was probably about 50 different subjects that can be taught on and offered blessings for. And there's probably at least 20 different ways to bring healing to you on those 50 different subjects. And so I still received some information yesterday about how to best serve you, but I'm also open to your ideas. So if you have any things that you would like to receive guidance, wisdom, and blessings for, how best to transform whatever aspects of your life you feel are blocked, then let me know, and I can add that to the list of things I'll be offering if it's not already been added. One of them that came up was children, and how to bring value to them, because they're so important in our lives. Our children give us the opportunity to purify at the highest levels. They know exactly where our buttons are, and they're not pushing them necessarily purposely, but what happens is, from the soul world's perspective, the souls of our children and our souls have definitely been together more than once. There's no question about it. And it's highly likely, like well over 50% likely, that if we're the parent, we have been the child before, and so forth. And so that's the beginning of an understanding of how we can serve our children, is by understanding that they are our teachers, in that they will provide for us the opportunity to clear our spiritual debts that we have incurred with them. And how do they do that? They bring to our attention the areas where we need to improve. Either we yelled at them when we shouldn't have, or they pushed that button and we miscommunicated what we wanted to say. We felt fear, we felt apprehension about some of their actions, and we had a knee-jerk reaction that we regret later. There's all these different ways in which the children bring opportunities for us to transform. And so needless to say, they are exceedingly important in our lives. One of the reasons that we have a desire for them to be intelligent is so that they can succeed, of course, and so that they are not left behind, so that they have a fighting chance in this very tough world, if you will. And so towards that end, one of the things that we can do, there's many things that we can do, but one of the things that we can do is we can wake them up to the 10 Das. Now, it might not seem at the first to be directly related to intelligence, but what we need to understand is the soul. The soul is the boss, and the soul has its own intelligence. The soul has had many lifetimes. Their soul has had many lifetimes, and that means that the soul is dramatically smarter than that child, a lot smarter. And so you want to use that to your advantage to serve the child, and you want to use it to the child's advantage. And so in using this to serve our children, one of the ways that we want to employ this is to recognize and remember some of the base teachings of soul. Soul is not limited to human beings, and human beings' souls want to serve. This is a one-sentence secret. Every soul wants to serve. Soul communication is how the majority of this type of intelligence can be transferred to the children. Soul communication is exactly what it sounds like. It is not human-to-human communication. It is soul communication. Human-to-human communication is absolutely necessary, but we also make a great deal of our mistakes with human-to-human communication. And what can make our life a lot easier in our human-to-human communication is soul communication prior to the human communication. So an example. Dear the soul of my children, my grandchildren, I love you, honor you, truly appreciate you. Thank you for coming back into my life, that we can clear any of the spiritual debts we have and increase the good virtue that we have together, so that we can be better servants to bring greater value and light to humanity. And you invite their souls, and you have that kind of an enlightening, loving connection with them to start with. And then you say to your children, you have a soul guiding you. To your children, you're talking to that child, but you're also talking to that child's soul. And just as with any soul, sometimes there needs to be an awakening. So we remind them, you are a beautiful soul. You have been potentially my father or mother before. And I'm honored to be your father, your mother today. I'm honored to be your grandmother, your grandfather today. And I ask you to please become aware and remember all the lifetimes of wisdom you have ever learned. They could have been a concert pianist before. They could have been a fisherman before. They could have been a great parent before, and all of the above. You remind their soul to remember their lifetimes of experience. This sounds like something that to many people are like, well, you know, I don't get it. Why would that help? The sooner a soul awakens, the sooner the child awakens. Most of us as adults, we do not awaken until at least the age of 18. How many of us remember that we had third eye, that we saw things, had invisible friends, etc. And then the parents teach us wrong information and shut down our spiritual channels. This is not an uncommon experience. And so the human experience tends to shut down our children, remove them from heaven. When a child comes out, they're very connected to heaven, they're very connected to the soul world, and they're very connected to their lifetimes of intelligence. So we want to remind that soul of its reconnection to its intelligence. We then we want to teach it the value of the 10 daws in moving towards a very important level of intelligence. Why is this important? How will this impact them in the future in terms of what we think is important? We think you get a good grades in your mathematics or English, you get a college degree, blah, 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 blah. It's not that that's not important, but what is the foundation? The child won't even be thinking about those kinds of things at the level that we think about it till at least age 14, 15, 16. And that's if we're blessed that the child has those kinds of intelligent awarenesses. So when we address this early on at the level of soul, not on the person-to-person level, at the level of soul, and we start to teach them the 10 das, greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, greatest light, and we start teaching them their soul. Dear the soul of my child, it is very, very important that you always have the greatest heart, greatest love for everybody around you. It is very important that if somebody does something that is unpleasant towards you, to ask for forgiveness and to offer them forgiveness, because that unpleasant thing might have occurred from you're talking to their soul, remember, because that unpleasant thing you might have caused harm to somebody else in a previous lifetime. So by asking for forgiveness, even when this unpleasant thing happens to you, you minimize this repeat going forward. You can stop it right there. Now imagine if you had received this kind of teaching both in person and at the level of soul. You can actually have this communication with your child when they're older. And it's probably the single best thing you can do is start to teach them the basics of the 10 Das. How to have compassion, how to have humility, how to do things in harmony. When the other child at school is bullied towards them, you teach them either at the soul level or in person forgiveness and forgiveness practice, and why they should ask for forgiveness, because that bullying may have occurred from a previous lifetime when they were a bully to that child, and so forth. So by teaching the soul of the child and the child directly from early on in their life, greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, greatest light, greatest harmony, greatest humility, greatest flourishing. Teach them that it's okay to have flourishing in their life, that money is a good thing if it's used to serve others and cover their basic needs. That flourishing is not limited to money, that flourishing can be flourishing in healthy relationships. Flourishing can be having things, but those things are designed to make life easier and better for yourself and others. So teach them the value of flourishing, that it's okay to receive, it's okay to give. Greatest service. Teach them early on how to be of service to others. Let them share with you the value of how their heart opened and what they became aware of in offering that service. One of the reasons we have to teach this at the level of soul first, we don't have to, but it's of great value, is because every human being, if they incarnate, they have karma. Okay? There's very few exceptions to that rule. And what that means is that karma may block them from agreeing with you. They might say, well, why should I forgive that person? Even at the human level, age 6, bully picks on your 6-year-old kid and you say you should forgive them. Why should I forgive them? They hurt me, they hit me. Their mind, it has that karmic block. So when we communicate at the level of soul, we bypass the personality, we bypass the possibility of a karmic block. We want the information to go into their soul level, into their mind level, with the greatest possibility of absorption and acceptance. And the reason we communicate at the level of soul first is because every soul wants to serve. When your soul talks to that soul, then they're happy. They're having a beautiful power. They're like, oh, that's great. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go whisper in my own ear, in this child's ear, and remind myself, my child version of myself, that forgiveness is important. I remember that now. So when you actually release it on a verbal basis to them, their souls already went to them and said, this is a good idea, you should do this. The resistance is dramatically diminished. As a parent, you should be applying this directly with your children, because to be perfectly frank, as a parent you would know this, communicating resolves and moves forward things only so much. They mimic what they see you do, they mimic what you physically do, they mimic your emotions, they mimic your actions. And so how better to teach them the 10 Das than to be the best representation of compassion, than to say, I'm really sorry, I made a mistake. That's humility. And when you teach them that, instead of defending your position, whatever it may be, then that is going to be your greatest way to get the 10 Das across to them. So the first part of this teaching is to incorporate the 10 Das in your personal actions, because they will mimic that, and then communicate them at the soul level. Again, the 10 Das, if you're writing them down, which is a good idea, I'll give you another 30 seconds to grab your pen and paper. Greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion. You don't have to write greatest every time. You just put repeat. Greatest light, greatest humility, greatest harmony, greatest flourishing, greatest gratitude, greatest service, and greatest enlightenment. So you don't have to know about them. You have common sense, you're an adult, you understand the words and you understand the deeper meaning of what they mean. So you teach that at the level of soul. And what this does is it sets the playing field for that child to move forward in life with such. When you have this communication with them and something happens at school, something happens with a best friend, something happens with mother or father and you're the other parent, you can connect with the other parent and say, you know, this is an opportunity for us to teach one of the 10 Da's to the child and to show humility, to show harmony in the family, to show service to each other by swallowing the ego and doing what's right for the harmony of all. And you can tell the child, this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. And this is how you should bring yourself into life. You can do the same thing with love, compassion, etc. Now you have set the stage for the highest level of intelligence. Why? Because as a child moves through life, they will have challenges. They will have challenges with their homework. They will have challenges with relationships. They will have challenges with the potential new jobs. They will have challenges with people wanting them to do a bad habit. They will have challenges that you will never know about because they often hide these things unless we have built an enviable kind of rapport, which most of the parents I've talked to don't have that degree of rapport with their children, where the children just share everything. With the age of technology today, cell phones and hidden texts and all those things that go on, there could be a substantial amount of things that we would very much frown on as a parent. And so if we can address this early on in life, if we can set the stage, then when that child has a condition at school, they have this 10 Da foundation to move forward with, to make their decisions upon. Is this something that will hurt them if I make this choice? If I make this choice, is it in harmony? Is my choice compassionate? Okay, because you set this stage, they're making soul-based intelligence choices. This sets them up for being successful in all of their schooling and in everything else that they do. Why? Because the heart, this is the second part of the teachings. The physical heart and the message center are more related to a child's intelligence than the brain. This is a teaching directly from source. The brain, we think, from the human level, is the most important thing related to intelligence. In fact, it's the heart and the heart center. Those are the two most important connections to a child's intelligence and to our intelligence for the same matter. So when we teach the 10 Das, what in essence we're doing is we're opening the heart center. And as the heart center opens, it's releasing karmic blockages. And the karmic blockages that are releasing the blockages from the physical heart. The physical heart then leads the mind. When we go back to Dr. Master Sha's teachings that he received from the source, it says, when you heal, it's from the top down. First the soul, then the heart, then the mind, then the energy, then the matter. Soul is the carrier of message. So when we address things at the level of soul, when we release the blockages at the level of soul via the suggestions we're making today, it then directs the heart. The heart buys in because it's coming from the soul. The heart gives the orders to the mind. So stop right there for a moment. This teaching it came within the last several years, Shen Qi Jing, energy matter. And so it's from the top down. When we try to heal things from the matter level up, it doesn't work that well. We have to address things from the top down. And so intelligence does not start at the mind. It starts at soul, then heart, then mind. And that's why the teachings are coming out this way. I did not receive this wisdom and literally until 2 minutes before starting this live stream. I just trusted that heaven would give the information that would assist you and assist me to understand how to bring about children's intelligence in the highest and best way using soul power. I knew about the 10 Daws, I know about soul conversations and soul conferencing, but I never stopped and put the two together as it's coming out in flow now. And this is the power of soul intelligence. My soul knew this, I didn't at the human level. So my soul released this information today. Master Sha's soul released it through my soul to you. So Master Sha has taught that heart and brain are the two things to clear the karma with when it comes to a child's soul intelligence. I would strongly recommend either a healing and transmission system or a crown chakra blessing for your children or grandchildren for the areas of the heart and the brain, because this will clear those karmic blockages. Then you simply have the soul communication with them, and it will bring about a far, far greater result, because they won't have as many resistance points, karmic blockages, to receive that information. So let's do some practices on this now that we have some understanding, okay? So we're going to once again call in the souls of the children so that you see the practice in a step-by-step order. So of course it's good for you to be in the right posture, again, because that's what the children will emulate. The children are never too young to do a meditation with you. They are never too young to do a forgiveness practice with you, to chant greatest love or greatest humility. You teach them a simple one-sentence secret. Dear my son Daniel, please come here. I want to teach you today about greatest harmony. What's that, Dad? What we chant is what we become. If we chant the greatest harmony, then we become very harmonious in every aspect of our life. Really, Dad? Yes. Are they going to believe you if you're the dad? 100% they're going to believe you. So why wouldn't you teach them these basic foundational things? This will change their life forever, make them far more intelligent, and guess what? They will become a role model for all the other children around them, because they will witness a child that reacts and responds in a very healthy, loving manner. That child then becomes an adult that reacts and responds in a loving and healthy manner, and others will be watching them. The society has a chance to change when we bring this wisdom to our children. It's that important and that powerful. So, practice. So we sit up straight. We place our feet flat on the ground. We can teach our children this. We can teach them, remind them, because children literally, naturally put their tongue on the roof of their mouth. It's a very natural thing for a child. Literally, that's when the soul is leading the game before the ego takes over. And that's where the child's tongue is often kept, right on the roof of the mouth. This connects the energy channel. So you teach them to do that. Remind them. Do this your whole life when you're not talking. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. It will increase the intelligence because the energy and matter is running through the body without blockages. Just a very simple trick you can teach them. You teach them place their hands on their lower abdomen, or one hand on the heart and the other one in the soul light area hand position. This is a very good position to teach them as well. Again, one connects to heaven, the other one connects to the heart center. You then teach them a very, very basic forgiveness, and you can even explain why. So let's do one together. First, we invite the children, so repeat after me. Dear the soul of my children or grandchildren, I love you. Can you please come to be with me at this time? Receive this soul wisdom and teaching, and do this practice with me. Thank you. Now, if your third eye is open, the children's souls are immediately there. If not, you just have to trust. But the children's soul is definitely there whether you see them or not. Okay? And then you tell the souls, as if they were physically with you, please repeat after me. Dear the soul of everyone that I have met in the past and all those that I will meet in the future, I love you. Please forgive me if I have harmed you in the past. Please forgive me if I make mistakes in the future. I forgive you if you have harmed me in the past, and I will do my best to forgive you if you harm me in the future. And so you can keep it very simple like that. We're not talking about past lives, things like that. Harmed me in the past, harmed me in the future. And if they ask questions, teach them later. And then you teach them, dear the soul of greatest love, I love you. Can you please come from God's heart and bless me to open my heart and offer the greatest love to all the souls around me. Thank you. Very simple teachings. If you teach this in person, same results, same effect. And then you teach them chanting the words greatest love. You can teach them the Mandarin Chinese version, which is Da-I, D-A-A-I, Da-I. I is the word for love, and Da is the word for greatest love. And then you teach them, put the body power, put their hands in this position, tell them to close their eyes. Again, you're teaching them at the soul level prior to teaching them at the physical level. And you say, okay, let us chant together. Da-I, Da-I. Do it with me. Da-I, Da-I. Da-I, Da-I. Da-I, Da-I. Greatest love, greatest love, greatest love, greatest love. So this is how you can teach each one of the 10 Das little by little. You have lots of time. You're going to be with your child 18 years. Maybe choose to do one Da for each week for the next 10 weeks. And you can make it a fun game. You can literally sit down with them and say, we're going to learn something very special that will impact your whole life. And mommy and daddy are going to do better with it too. It's called the 10 Das. Really, what is that, Mom? And you go over with them step by step. We're going to work the whole week and we're going to do chanting. And then when we drive to the baseball game and we go to the skating practice, ballet practice, whatever it is, we're going to chant and we're going to practice how to have more love for this whole week. Okay, and you make it a game. You do this every week. New Da, next one is forgiveness, and you find opportunities for the children to practice forgiveness. You can have them journal on it. All of this, it builds this enormous foundation that will support them dramatically. So when you do the practices with them, you want to keep it very simple. You want to keep it as something that they can do by themselves when they're in a condition outside of you, so that they can, let's say that they're at school and something's happening where they feel some emotions coming up. You can teach them how to deal with that with greatest love. And so you give them a little teaching, a little reminder. So when something like this happens at school and you're feeling a little upset, then put your hands like this and say, dear the soul of God's greatest love, Da-I, please come and help me to remove this and make me feel better. You teach them that, it will change their lives. And the chances of them teaching their other fellow students and their other friends that is very, very good. So this is step 2. Step 3 is related to clearing blockages in the brain. So when you're doing with the 10 Das, that's clearing all the blockages in the heart. It's also naturally on the karmic level clearing negative mindsets, negative attitudes, and negative beliefs. Children don't necessarily come out of the womb with negative mindsets, attitudes, and beliefs. They don't come out of the womb with ego. They don't come out of the womb with attachments. All of this is man-made stuff, but it becomes an aspect of everyone's life because of how they are taught and because of what they witness. Remember, before they can speak, before they understand, they're watching us the first year and a half. And they're emulating what they see, what they hear, what they observe through their filters. So the earlier in life that we bring these tools and these wisdoms to them at the soul level, the sooner we can transform the heart blockages. In transforming the heart blockages, the root of the karmic aspects that is there that could feed a negative mindset, that could feed a negative attitude or a negative belief. The root of those never has a chance to take seed. They will actually be trimmed back and completely washed away, karmically speaking, if we can address this at an early enough stage. If they're later in life, which is certainly going to be the case with almost everybody that's watching today, the same results can occur. You just need more love and more forgiveness the farther along they are, because those two are the main karma cleansing, life-changing ingredients. And they might have such a strong personality, mindset, attitude, and belief that you can't have a direct conversation with them. That's certainly possible with teenagers. But that doesn't mean we can't address them at the level of soul. I have seen literally and experienced personally lots of experiences where addressing things at the level of soul, when there is no way at the human level it would get resolved, it's not going to happen at the human level. You start doing the forgiveness practice and love at the soul level, 1 month, 2 months later, all of a sudden everything's fine. And what would not melt for anything, all of a sudden is fine. How is that possible? Because soul carries the karma, and that's what brought about the conditions that could bring up an uncomfortable situation and human-to-human communication. So we address it at the level of origin. So the third stage, healing the brain. There is a mantra that Dr. and Master Sha has brought to us. And if you can teach this to your children, both at the level of soul and in person, and do it every day. Teach your children to do it before a test. Teach your children to do it anytime they're stressed. Teach your children to do it as a natural part of setting their brain to have intelligence. And it's called a mantra, and it's a number code. I have to see if I can remember the number code. As far as the English numbers, I know it in Mandarin Chinese because that's how we chant it. So if somebody can look it up in the Soul Mind Body Medicine book, I believe it's in the 3rd or the 4th chapter, they can write in the actual number code for people to read. That would be deeply appreciated. But the mantra, and you want to write this down, is Ling, L-I-N-G, Yao, Y-A-O, Ling Yao, Chi Chi Chi, C-H-I 3 times. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba, Zhou Ling Ba, Ba is B-A, Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. I'll tell you why the number code's relevant in just a minute. So Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi. Second set is Zhou Ling Ba, just like the Zhou in Mandarin Chinese is spelled different, but for your purposes you can simply spell it like your friend Zhou. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. Okay, thank you Consuela for putting in the number code. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. The third code is Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. I like remembering phonetically. I don't care about the spelling the way somebody has told me to spell something. If I remember R by writing the letter R, that's good enough for me. You write it the way it's easy to remember for you. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. Si Si. Mandarin Chinese, I think they spell that Z-I-Z-I. But it sounds more like S-U-H to me phonetically. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. Now, thank you Consuelo. She put the number code, if you look on the scroll of the posts, you'll see the number code there. So how does this work? Left hemisphere, right hemisphere, corpus callosum. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. What's happening is it's zi, 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 and then it goes to the other side. Zi, 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 zi. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi Chi Chi, Zhou R Si Si. If you had trouble writing it down, it's recorded. Go back, watch it again. So it's better to do it in the Mandarin Chinese that it's been taught in. because it carries with it a vibrational frequency. The English language does not carry the same vibrational frequency. When children do this, this has been taught by teachers in class. When children do this, the teachers have witnessed that the children are far more behaved. The children actually like it. They really do. They like it. They like doing it. They feel better. Children, their energy bodies are very aware. We don't do anything with them that in most cases, unless we're very advanced parents, we don't do things with them that are energy based. But if you do this practice, a child will tell you, I feel buzzing in my head, Mom. I feel this weird sensation in my head, Dad. Yeah, of course they do, because they're moving the vibration in the left and the right hemisphere. Now, I read something just recently, and this was through a what's called a medical medium. Anthony Williams, I believe, is his name. And this man, I'm give you a little preface on him before I tell you what he stated. This man, from the age of 4, started receiving messages. So imagine waking up at the age of 4, and in your right ear, not inside the ear, just outside the ear, he explains it's about 4 inches outside my ear, a voice said, I am, I don't even remember the exact verbiage, something to the effect of, I am the right hand of God, and I'm here to teach you. Okay, and whatever the exact words were, this voice has said it to him every day upon waking up for his entire life. He's about 45 years old now. And what this voice started teaching him from the age of 4 was the health problem with every single human being this little boy saw. The first step was his grandmother. And they were at a dinner table, and the voice said in his ear, go up and tell your grandmother that she has lung cancer. And the boy's like, huh? Listening to this, huh? What's that? He didn't even know what lung and didn't know what cancer is, doesn't know anything. And this voice is telling him these words. And so he eventually followed the voice's instructions, went up, and the voice said, put your hand on your grandma's chest. So he did. And he said, the grandma looked down at him like, what, honey? And he said, you have lung cancer. Again, the boy didn't know what the words meant. He was just repeating what was in his ear. The grandmother just went through a physical. She was fine. But because it was repeated, she went and checked. Sure enough, she had lung cancer. This was the beginning of his wisdom. Fast forward 45 years, every person this child saw through grade school, even on television, the voice said, this is the person's problem, this is a solution. Imagine getting that in your ear 100 times a day or more. This is the person's problem, this is a solution. This is the person's problem, this is a solution. So now you have this base. Who is this person? Anthony Williams, I think, is his name. So what I'm about to tell you is specific to the brain, what this person stated. He said the root cause of brain issues, including autism, including all the other maladies that are labeled, is related to several factors that get stuck in the corpus callosum between the right and left hemispheres. And he said in a child, the gap in between the left and right hemispheres is open until about the age of 18. Think about that. We as adults, we hear left hemisphere, we hear right hemisphere, but we don't think of them as individual. We think of a brain as one. The truth is it doesn't become truly one until about age 18. In between, there are all these synaptic impulses and nerve endings that are slowly finding their way to each other, connecting the left side and the right side. So what he said was, in all of the times he's ever scanned children and heard information from heaven as to the source root problem associated with these children's issues, the root problem was the ingestion of chemicals, mercuries, heavy metals, and toxins from the air, the water, etc., that became, and bacterial and viral product running through the body that hasn't been addressed with properly. And they cross the blood-brain barrier, and they float inside of the corpus callosum, causing a misfiring in between the left and the right hemisphere. Okay, now that you understand that children and grandchildren have this area, you can start to understand the value of this chanting for the intelligence of the brain. Ling yao qi 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 zhou ling ba, ling yao qi 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 zhou er si si. Let's do it together. Let's see if you feel anything. We want to teach our children how to do this. So again, we invite their souls. We can do this in person as well. So repeat after me. Dear the soul of my children, my grandchildren, I love you. Please come. Please do this practice with me to bring healing to the brain and to balance the left and right hemisphere. Thank you. And then you repeat. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Repeat with me. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Again. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. I'm going to go faster. I want you to go faster with me. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. You don't have to move your hand. Again. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Close your eyes. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Faster. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi Chi Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo R Si Si. Now this might be all the faster that you can go. And that's okay. It might be all the faster the children can go. But doing it quickly is very important to the effectiveness of the practice, because it's causing faster, 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 faster. And so it's clearing the blockages in the brain. This mantra was given to Master Guo, which is Master Sha's spiritual father. And it was given to him by heaven. And he has used it. So this is literally a 70 to 80-year-old practice that we know of. It could have been around earlier in humanity, but maybe been lost. So we also use a special number code to open the soul language. We already know how effective that is. We know that when we chant that other mantra, we can heal people. So this is something that you can do with your children every day while they're doing something that is, let's say, driving to school, preparing their brain. Maybe before they go on the bus, you stand outside and you wait for the bus with them and you practice together. Ling Yao Chi 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 Jo Ling Ba Ling Yao. What do you think they're going to do when they're on the bus going to school? They're going to be repeating that, aren't they? You are making your children substantially more intelligent. You're self-clearing blockages potentially of mercury, heavy metals, chemicals, all those things that are happening in between the corpus callosum, in between the hemispheres. So, in conclusion, our children have been our parents before. There is karma between us. We have an opportunity as the parent, as the grandparent, to self-clear that karma in this lifetime. We can do that in person and at the level of soul by teaching them the 10 Das. When we teach them the 10 Das and we teach them forgiveness, we are clearing our blockages with them. When they push our buttons, we must be in a place of humility, not ego, not attachment to being right, not any of the opposites of the 10 Das. We must practice the 10 Das and show that to the children, because they will emulate what they witness. If you are good at this but the spouse is not, then you gently, with love, with compassion, teach your spouse that the children are witnessing how they are being, and there's an opportunity to show the child humility by stating that your action was wrong and that you wish to be better father, mother, etc., and that you need their help. You teach that spouse to do forgiveness with the child, and you put them on that path of the 10 Das as well. If you worry about teaching the spouse and they're not going to take it well, you talk to their soul first. You do forgiveness practice with their soul first. You tell their soul, I'm going to be having this conversation with you, and my fear is that you might react negatively. And what I'm really hoping is that you're going to have an open heart and that you'll work with me so that we can have an excellent communication for our children, their health and well-being and intelligence. So you use soul communication and the 10 Das for yourself, for communication with the spouse, both in before communicating with the child, so that you have the best foundation. So you have the real world communication, you have the soul world communication, you clear the blockages at the heart level, which is half of the 2 pieces to a child's intelligences, clearing the blockages at the heart level using the 10 Das, and then also clearing the blockages at the brain level using the Ling Yao Qi 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 Zhou Ling Ba, Ling Yao Qi 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 Zhou RR Si Si. So thank you Heaven, thank you Tao, and thank you Source for giving me this information that I could flow it with such great value. I am very grateful for this. And I'll definitely be doing a blog on this one and placing this video out there for others to watch at some point in the future, because it's worthy of being watched again. It's good information. So thank you Heaven for that. Crown chakra blessings for intelligence. Crown chakra blessing for heart intelligence and mind intelligence. 2 different crown chakra blessings. What they will do, if you chose to receive these for your children or grandchildren, will clear heart intelligence blockages. What is that? That's the 10 Da blockages. Mind intelligence blockages. What is that? Whatever Heaven chooses, but it could be the chemicals, the viruses, the bacteria, the mercuries, whatever might be in that area of the corpus callosum and in the brain itself that is inhibiting them from having the mind intelligence. So the crown chakra blessings, they're only $100 each. And it could literally, one each, could change your child's entire future that has that kind of potential. I have seen how these crown chakra blessings work. They are truly, truly phenomenal. And if the child has significant blockages, significant meaning it's testing, it tests out that there are significant blockages, then you really want to receive the healing and transmission system to clear the blockages in the heart center and get a brand new brain. And that would serve your child in leaps and bounds. So this is my suggestions. If you want to know more about how to do that, you can call me 808-469-6199. You can email me asoulhealer@yahoo.com. Of course, my website, you can go on there and contact me the same way because it just sends an email to me. The website is asoulhealer.com. And of course, Facebook messaging. So if you've enjoyed this, please make sure you share it, especially with the grandparents and parents, people who can appreciate this wisdom. If you're part of the PTA, you're part of the school in any way, shape, or form, you can do it. One of the easy ways to share is once the video is done, just right click on the video, and one of the 3 choices that pop up is a video URL. And you can literally just copy and paste that URL and send an email to a friend that might not be a Facebook friend, but it's somebody that has children. And so they can watch this and they can go, wow, that's really interesting. I always wondered what was that Dr. Master Sha stuff was about, but this is pretty good stuff. So now you've impacted other children's life. When you impact other children's lives and other parents' lives with this kind of soul wisdom, you have literally brought such good karma into their world that their souls will flower virtue on your Akashic records. And that will impact your intelligence, your ability to clear the 10 Da karma, etc. So it's cyclical in the service. So I'm coming to the end of the hour or so, I think. I don't have a clock out here. I hope you have enjoyed the view. I'll offer you a little bit more so you can see what's going on out here. There's some boats harbors over here. We're in a little town called Haleiwa, and you can see a lot of people out here. They rented their stand-up paddle boards. A lot of them don't have any clue how to do it, so they're falling off. That's quite fun to watch them fall off. Over here is the place where you rent it from. This little town is awesome. I hope you can make it here when you come. And so I will see you tomorrow. I will check with Heaven and see what the subject matter is. I look forward to serving you. I look forward to serving your children and your grandchildren. Again, my phone number, 808-469-6199. And I'll chat with you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.